Good afternoon, Newberry College, family and friends. Welcome to Wiles Chapel at Newberry College. It is commencement day. That's right. Would you pray with me? Hear our prayers, Lord God, Lord of endless possibilities, creator of all things, great and small. Hear our prayers for this graduating class, that today's celebration surpasses every hope and every dream they held when they started the first day of classes many years ago. Hear our prayers for this graduating class as they walk on this stage to receive their diplomas, beaming with the pride of knowing all that they've accomplished to get to this moment. Hear our prayers for this alumni class as they walk off the stage, and as you fill them with the faith to believe that with you beside them, they can accomplish so much more than they ever dreamed possible. Hear our prayers for the faculty, staff, coaches, administrators, and others who worked every day over these years with these students to mentor them, teach them, love them, train them, correct them. Fill their hearts with the knowledge that their efforts will be fruitful as these young men and women go into the world to struggle with challenges yet to be overcome, to grapple with the obstacles of everyday life, and who will ultimately and successfully navigate the future by mastering the present for themselves and for their neighbors and for their communities. Hear our prayers, Lord, as we give thanks for those bringing these young men and women to us, making this college a better place for their efforts. And may these graduates go from this place to make their neighborhoods, cities, communities better places for everyone because of their compassion for others, their continued hard work, and their dedication to be empowered citizens. Hear our prayers for the loved ones and friends of these graduates who have prayed for them, pushed them to continue, taught them to be strong, and provided them the foundation to be successful in their endeavors. Hear our prayer, O Lord, for Newberry College, our campus community, our alumni, our community that supports us in our future. Hear the prayers of our hearts, dear Lord. Grant us faith, give us hope, be present in our dreams and active in our lives today, tomorrow, and always. And the people of God say, amen.
Welcome to the Newberry College December commencement. This is an exciting day for all of you, graduates and families. I hope you will enjoy this occasion as the graduates complete their time here at Newberry College and begin a new chapter of their lives. I want to take this time to recognize two members of our platform party. We are honored to be giving an honorary degree to the recipient who was a former Newberry College president and the current United States Secretary of Education, Dr. Mitch Zais, and our commencement speaker, Dr. Amanda Hodges, an Associate Professor of English. Thank you both for being here today. As we gather here to recognize the achievements of those seated in caps and gowns before us today, it's important that we acknowledge the contributions, emotional, spiritual, and financial, of the parents, grandparents, spouses, friends, and other family members of the graduates of the December 2018 graduating class. I would ask you, relatives of our graduates, and those that have helped get these graduates to this place today, to please stand and be recognized. Parents, grandparents, friends, thank you. Thank you. Immediately following today's commencement, you're invited to the reception held in the Summerlin Room in Smeltzer Hall, which is right behind the chapel. The marshals will lead the procession out the front doors of the chapel into Smeltzer Hall. You may meet your graduates there, have some refreshments before leaving the campus. Again, welcome to the commencement celebration here at Newberry College. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Rob Best, Chairman of the Newberry College Board of Trustees, to the microphone.
Thank you, Maureen. Good afternoon, everyone. Just on behalf of the Newberry College Board of Trustees, I'd really like to extend a warm, hazy shade of winter welcome to our guests and congratulations to our graduates. You know, it's not every day that I get to kind of dress up in a coat and tie and put on my high-top Chuck Taylor red Converse, but I couldn't let Pastor Ernie outdo me today. But for those of you who want to know, Pastor Ernie really wears Buster Brown shoes. So. But commencement celebration is really an exciting time for you and for your family and friends as we individually recognize each of you for your significant accomplishments. This is a capstone of your time at Newberry College, a fitting finale for years of hard work, sacrifice, and probably some fun mixed in there as well. We have a wonderful institution at Newberry College. You're graduating from a school that is growing, unlike a lot of other campuses around the country, has an energetic, enthusiastic, and committed leadership team across the campus, has an excellent, highly respected faculty. Also, Newberry's received a lot of national recognition during the last couple years for the value we provide our graduates, and also has an ongoing spirit of continual improvement across the campus, and produces graduates like yourselves who bring distinction to your alma mater. It's a great time to be associated with Newberry. It's a great time to graduate from Newberry. Again, congratulations, and take with you our best wishes and Wolf pride.
Mr. President, I present to you for the conferring of emerita status, Dr. Betsy McDowell.
In recognition of service and dedication as founding director of the Newberry College Nursing Program, Newberry College is pleased to confer upon Dr. Betsy M. McDowell the title of Professor Emerita of Nursing with all the rights and privileges thereto appertaining on this 12th day of December 2018.
Mr. President, I present to you for the conferring of the honorary Doctor of Laws degree, Dr. Mitchell M. Zais.
In recognition of his service and leadership to Newberry College, the state of South Carolina, and his continued support of education across the United States, Newberry College is pleased to confer upon Dr. Mitchell M. Zais the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa with all the rights and privileges thereto appertaining on this 12th day of December 2018.
As president of Newberry College and by the authority vested in me by the Newberry College Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon Mitchell M. Zais the honorary Doctor of Laws with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Mitchell Zais.
Thank you, President Sharons and Chairman Best, and members of the Newberry community for this honor. It's a pleasure to be home, and Newberry is our home. Susan and I lived in the President's home at Newberry College for 10 years, and we're so excited to be back on this beautiful campus and this lovely hometown of ours. Until we'd lived in the President's home for 3 years, my wife Susan and I had never lived in the same house for 3 years. Both of us were military brats, and we'd moved all over the country, and I joined the Army at age 18. And at age 53, we came and moved into the house and stayed for 10 years. We've lived there longer than any place we've ever lived in our lives. It's great to see the faculty that so many I got to serve with and who are still here serving Newberry College, serving our students, and serving the values that this institution stands for. I told you I was in the Army, and I'm talking to the students here, and it was a pretty unusual career progression. For 31 years, I was an infantry soldier, and guys, this is not high tech. We're talking about a pair of boots, an M16 rifle, and a rucksack. And I spent my time jumping out of planes and blowing things up. And I left the Army one day, and I came to work as president of Newberry College the next day. And people used to ask me, Mick, what's that like going from being a paratrooper general, where people are falling all over themselves trying to make you happy, to being a college president? What's that like? And I said, well, by comparison, being a college president is kind of like being the caretaker at a cemetery. There's a lot of people under you, but not many of them are listening. As you may know, one of the major roles of a college president is to raise money for the institution, which I used to say, yeah, being a college president is a pretty cool gig. You get to live in a big house, walk to work and campus, and beg for a living. And right now I'm in Washington. I'm the Deputy U.S. Secretary of Education, the #2 education official in our country. Among the many functions we perform is we give away a lot of money, a lot of taxpayer dollars. This year we'll issue, we estimate, $114 billion in federal student loans and grants. We'll administer over 7,000 competitive grants and what we call formula grants to colleges and schools across the country. And we will assist in administering the programs that are established by Congress. It's a big job. I get to see higher education, K-12 education, and the whole field, and it's changing amazingly quickly in the United States, just as commerce is changing, medicine is changing, transportation is changing, marketing, all of that, as well as education, is changing at a rapid pace. I want to say thank you again, and to our students. It's a big adventure out there. The only thing I can tell you for advice is to work hard. You can't control your God-given talents, but you can make them better by working hard. And the second thing I would tell you is be nice to people. You work hard, and you're nice to the people you work with and you work for, and you're honest and give an honest day's work for an honest day's pay, you'll be successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you for those words, Dr. Zais. In April of every year, Newberry College hosts an award convocation at which various honors are given to deserving students, faculty, and staff of our institution. One of those awards is the Student Government Association Professor of the Year. The recipient has the honor of becoming the speaker at December commencement. The 2018 Professor of the Year was presented to Dr. Amanda Hodges, Associate Professor of English. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Hodges to the lectern.
Esteemed board members, colleagues, honored guests, and most importantly, our accomplished graduating seniors, it is a joy to share in this moment of celebration. Graduates, take just a moment to savor this accomplishment. While there were some late nights or packed weeks that felt interminable, on the other hand, doesn't it feel like yesterday, that you filed into Wiles Chapel for opening convocation, even though it was 3.5, 4.5, somewhere in there, years ago? From my classes, some of you know I have a habit of asking you to push towards the so what question. So what makes this argument matter? In thinking about the so what of my remarks, I asked some of you for suggestions. Well, I was told, don't be cute. And I was also said, don't tell us we can do anything. It sounds too cliche. More than one person said, I don't know exactly where I'll be in a couple of years. Is that okay? And a few asked, is it really time to go? Am I ready? So what does it mean to be ready? Picture the class that pushed you the most. The time you came together as part of a team to create something amazing. Now, think about the friendships, the relationships you built here, the ones that you'll carry on with you, the mistakes you made that taught you something. None of those experiences can be squeezed into a line on your resume or condensed into a single caption. While you've learned plenty of information, what you've really learned is how to balance your priorities, how to ask better questions, how to consider and learn from divergent perspectives, how to be flexible, how to sharpen and communicate your own thinking. Exams are over. The papers have been turned in. You've received all the feedback your faculty and coaches can offer. From here on, you'll navigate a world with even more choices and responsibilities. This ceremony does not mark the end of your education. It's simply the beginning of a new chapter. The truth is, there's always more to learn about our world and each other. And what you have learned and will continue to learn will not only shape you, but will ripple outward into all of the lives that you touch. Now, you get to determine what you learn and how you use it. There's not a syllabus or a rubric for any of this. You'll need to become comfortable with the freedom and risk ahead. Most of us have been taught to avoid risk, right? As children, we're warned about hot stoves or crossing streets or talking to strangers. When I say take risks, I'm not advising recklessness, but the most meaningful moments of our lives involve stepping into the unknown. There are ways you can prepare for those amazing moments. Hold yourself accountable. Go off that beaten track and don't be afraid to fail. Lots of artists, scientists, scholars, theologians modeled this for us. As a Lutheran institution, Martin Luther himself could be a case study. But today I want to talk about one of my inspirations, the English poet-philosopher John Milton. When he graduated from Cambridge way back in the day, he called time a subtle thief of youth and worried that at 23, he wasn't sure what would come next or how to make the most of his time. While we know him as the puritanical author of Paradise Lost, that didn't happen overnight. First, he kept asking the same questions he'd asked as an undergraduate. What does it mean to be free? What would a society based in liberty look like? What can we each do to make our society nobler, fairer? He held himself and those in power accountable. Side note, I would have hated to see his Twitter feed. It would have been full of so many burns, we can't even. But early on, it was his political writing that stood out. He spoke out against censorship. He pointed out corruption in government. He even joined a revolution. He didn't just get off the beaten track, he set out to demolish it. And when he and his pals overthrew the King of England, Milton thought he'd made it. Political position, prestige, a force for political and religious change. But we all know the story didn't end there. Queen Elizabeth is proof. The English crown made a comeback. And when it did, Milton's world flipped upside down. He was thrown into prison. There he lost his sight, and his beloved wife died. When he was finally freed, he felt lost, adrift. Can you imagine? Not just his personal suffering, but the idea that everything he'd sacrificed was for nothing. But the risks he'd taken were based on his convictions. And when things fell apart, those convictions remained. One of the first post-prison poems he wrote was about the parable of the talents. You remember it, right? Christ tells the story of the man who gives each of his 3 servants money to invest before he leaves on a trip. One servant doubles his profits, another triples them. But the third, he didn't make a dime. He was so scared of making a mistake that he buried his talent. And then when his master returned, he was in big trouble because growth can only come through initiative and risk. Milton was not crazy about that parable. He was blind, a political has-been. How could he be expected to do anything? He had to work through what to do next. So he used his art to do just that. Does God exact day labor light denied? In other words, I'm helpless. I failed as spectacularly as anyone can. What more does God want of me? He answers his own question a couple of lines later. Mid-rant, he envisions Patience as a woman who runs in to tell him to hush up. I love the image of Patience running in, hands on her hips. God doth not need man's work or his own gifts. They also serve who only stand and wait. Well, many of us know waiting isn't easy, especially when things seem unfair or hard. But there's hope in waiting. No matter how things may be, they can get better. We can dust ourselves off and continue to wait and work in hope. Milton crafted his Paradise Lost and his Paradise Regained as a blind man. He wove together the greatest epic in our language, and he continues to show us how to grow, to learn, to create, because even when risk doesn't lead to the outcome we might desire, it leads us to something rich and new. Most of us won't have the highs and lows of John Milton, y'all, but we can learn from his story. You have accomplished so much already, and you will continue to soak up knowledge and pour it into others. You will be brave enough to invest your talents. You will take those meaningful risks, and we can't wait to see all of the strength and understanding and goodness you will bring about.
At this time, I would like to recognize members of our faculty and staff who have been instrumental in making this day possible. Will the faculty and staff please stand so that we can show our appreciation for all that you do for our students in the college. This afternoon, out of respect for our special guests, graduates, and their families, I ask you to remain in your seat throughout the presentation of diplomas. Please do not come to the front of the chapel to take photographs of your graduate. This blocks other guests from being able to see the platform and creates a safety hazard. Professionals are in place to photograph all graduates. Each of our graduates will be contacted by email so that proofs may be reviewed and ordered. Will the candidates for graduation please stand? Mr. President, I proudly present to you the members of the Newberry College December graduating class of 2018.
Now that you've completed all the requirements for the baccalaureate degree at Newberry College, you've been approved by the faculty and the Board of Trustees for graduation. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty, the staff, we extend a hearty congratulations to you and to your families on this most significant accomplishment.
Professor Patrick Gagliano will now present each of you to receive your hood and diploma.
The candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts: Cassie Alexandra Babb, Psychology, minor Social Work, Greenwood, South Carolina. Tadara Key Belton, History, Columbia, South Carolina. Ebony Alicia Bennett, Music, minor Jazz Studies, Columbia, South Carolina. Kwame Burton, Sociology, Richmond, Virginia. Austin Steele Crocker, Criminal Justice and Sociology, Lawrence, South Carolina.
Mr. Crocker graduates cum laude.
Troy Lynn Cunningham, Jr., Psychology with minors Athletic Training and Sociology, Lancaster, South Carolina. Deja Armani Graham, Psychology, minor Sociology, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Good catch. Jamarcus Raekwon Henderson, Psychology, minors Criminal Justice and Sociology, Union, South Carolina. Samara Adele Hill, English, Education, Frankston, Victoria, Australia.
Ms. Hill graduates cum laude.
Christopher James Howe, History, St. Mary's City, Maryland.
Mr. Howell graduates cum laude.
George Kokolis, Individualized, Chapin, South Carolina, degree awarded in absentia. Patrick D. Lane, History, minor Business Administration, Chapin, South Carolina.
Mr. Lane graduates summa cum laude.
Julian Lanier, Theater, Technical, minor Music, Augusta, Georgia, degree awarded in absentia. Carmen Marie Laughlin, History, minor Political Science, Prosperity, South Carolina. Michelle Monifa Ling, psychology, minor, military science, St. George, South Carolina. Emmanuel Jacob McCord, criminal justice and sociology, Indian Land, South Carolina. Nala Michelle Moon, early child care management, Newberry, South Carolina. Sierra Dolores Negron, psychology and criminal justice with minor sociology, Beaufort, South Carolina.
Ms. Negron graduates cum laude.
Mackenzie Dane Swink, sociology, minor social work, Casey, South Carolina. Alexis Brianne Tate, psychology, minor, Spanish, Pomeria, South Carolina. James Houston Tolbert, psychology, minor, art, Greenwood, South Carolina. Mackenzie Aaron Wagner, English, Columbia, South Carolina.
Ms. Wagner graduates with Summerlin honors and summa cum laude.
Kenjori Ware, sociology, Greenwood, South Carolina.
Mr. Ware graduates magna cum laude.
Chadwick Stephen Wood, history, Ridgeville, South Carolina. The candidate for the degree Bachelor of Music Education, Karen Ann Ellis, Music Education, Somerville, South Carolina. The candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Samuel Jawanza Adams, Business Administration, minor, Sport Management, Greenville, South Carolina. Caleb Romello Belton, Physical Education, Sport Management, with minors Business Administration and Coaching, Heath Springs, South Carolina. Derek Chantel Copeland, Sport Management, Kannapolis, North Carolina. Presley Kate Coster, Mathematics, Education, Woodruff, South Carolina.
Ms. Coster graduates cum laude.
Wyatt William Craig, Business Administration, Moncks Corner, South Carolina. Kelly Coleman Craven, Early Childhood Education, Houstonville, Kentucky.
Ms. Craven graduates cum laude.
Darius Dantes Clark, Physical Education, Sport Management, Minor Business Administration, Wadmalaw Island, South Carolina. Cheyenne Culcleasure, Biology, St. Matthews, South Carolina. Mariel De La Chica, Biology Education, Whitmire, South Carolina.
Ms. De La Chica graduates with Summerlin honors.
Logan Gabrielle Dortch, Business Administration, West Columbia, South Carolina.
Ms. Dortz graduates magna cum laude.
Rachel Ann Franklin, Accounting and Business Administration, Newberry, South Carolina.
Ms. Franklin graduates magna cum laude.
Gabrielle Gentner, Sport Management with minors Coaching and Business Administration, Chapin, South Carolina. Ladrina George, Individualized, Phoenix, Arizona. Janisha Nicole Brichet Gordon, Individualized, Rock Hill, South Carolina. Erica Jones Green, Early Childhood Education, Chapin, South Carolina.
Ms. Green graduates magna cum laude.
Jackie Ryan Hughes, Business Administration, Lawrence, South Carolina. John Trey Tremaine Jackson, Sport Management, minor Business Administration, Columbia, South Carolina. Fabian Jefferson, Physical Education, Leisure Services, Florence, South Carolina. Bryce Crejon, Biology, minor Chemistry, Charleston, South Carolina. Natalie Shaw Lewandowski, Healthcare Management, West Bloomfield, Michigan. Parker Travis Little, Sport Management, minor Business Administration, Providence, South Carolina. Sai Nikhil Manipali, Business Administration, Nellore, India.
Mr. Manipali graduates cum laude.
Emily Violet Marchbanks, Mathematics Education, Sweet Home, Oregon. Vidal Shaquille McKnight, Individualized, Kingstree, South Carolina. Anthony Durian Moffett, Sport Management, minor Business Administration and Coaching, Phoenix City, Alabama. Marcus Traquan Moody, Physical Education, Sport Management, Bamberg, South Carolina. Savannah Oliger, Biology, Grantville, Georgia. Ryan Joseph Ott, Biology, Irmo, South Carolina, degree awarded in absentia. Adam Clayton Price, Business Administration, Trenton, South Carolina, degree awarded in absentia. Gavin Crawford Reichard, Accounting, Leesville, South Carolina.
Mr. Reichard graduates with Summerlin Honors and cum laude.
Madison Nicole Rosado, Early Childhood Education, Somerville, South Carolina. Otez Malik Ross, Physical Education, Sport Management, Reevesville, South Carolina. Ryan Benjamin Sandifer, Sport Management and Business Administration, St. Matthews, South Carolina. Sean Smith, Sport Management, Somerville, South Carolina. Dylan Turner Sutherland, Physical Education Teacher Certification, Minor Coaching, Belton, South Carolina. Tevin Stanley Thomas, Physical Education Leisure Services, Minor Sport Management, Duncan, South Carolina. Martina Elaine Wicker, Middle Level Education, Mathematics and English, Minor English, Prosperity, South Carolina. Frances Claire Wiley, Early Childhood Education, North Charleston, South Carolina.
Ms. Wiley graduates magna cum laude.
The candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Bria Coles, Nursing, Columbia, South Carolina, degree awarded in absentia. Hope Baker Corley, Nursing, Prosperity, South Carolina. Margaret Elizabeth Fulmer, Nursing, Prosperity, South Carolina. Michaelin Elizabeth Higgins, Nursing, Easley, South Carolina. Laura Ashley Hutto, Nursing, Columbia, South Carolina, degree awarded in absentia. Zachary Taylor McCall, Nursing, Chapin, South Carolina. Anna Marie Odom, Nursing, Chapin, South Carolina, degree awarded in absentia. Connelly Morgan Young, Nursing, West Columbia, South Carolina.
Graduates, please stand. Mr. President, each candidate has now been presented, and we are ready to confer the Newberry College Baccalaureate degree.
As president of Newberry College, and through the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you, the December class of 2018, your respective Newberry College baccalaureate degrees with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations. I believe we also have a graduate from the class of August 2018, so those privileges are bestowed upon you as well. But this is a special moment in the ceremony, so I invite to the podium your faculty marshal, Dr. Vanita Witt.
Congratulations, graduates. We're proud of you. It is your time to shine. It has been our pleasure to have you in our classes, to have you on our athletic fields, to have you around campus. You've brought glory to this campus. You've accomplished one of your goals, and that is to graduate from Newberry College. So now you can put that behind you as your memories. You can put before you all of the things that you have planned for yourself. And just know, as you look around the room at the people who are here, all of these people have supported you in some way. And we're excited to have you to be the persons whom we've had to spend some time with. Just remember as you go forward, Jeremiah, the 29th chapter, 11th verse. And God said, I know the plans that I have for you, to prosper you and not harm you, for hope and future, and to keep in front of you at all times, to know that the things that are within you, you will be able to accomplish. Now it's time to move those tassels. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. Ms. Joyce Roof Carter, Newberry College class of 1982 and president of the Alumni Association, will now greet each of you as Newberry College alumni.
Thank you, Dr. Parrish. On behalf of the Newberry College Alumni Association, I want to congratulate each of you on the success that you have achieved this day. I know that you and your family members are very proud of your accomplishment. This is neither the end of your journey nor the end of your relationship with Newberry College. Now, you will go forth from this campus as an educated citizen and an alum of this fine institution. I hope that your experience at Newberry has been meaningful and that through your membership in the Alumni Association, you will continue to be part of the Newberry College family. Wear the alumni lapel pin with pride, display your diploma with honor, and reflect and share the memories of your experiences at Newberry. Please stand now for your induction into the Newberry College Alumni Association. In recognition of your having successfully completed your academic studies and all requirements for graduation, I hereby confer on you membership in the Newberry College Alumni Association with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto, including a permanent and warm welcome when you return to this campus, opportunity to support the college through annual scholarship funds, and encouragement to keep the college informed of changes and successes in your life. Congratulations, graduates, and welcome new alumni.
You guys can sit if you want. You are now graduates of Newberry College, and we're pleased to recognize you as members of the Alumni Association. Our alumni have literally carried the name of Newberry College around the world and have brought honor to their alma mater through their service to God, community, and to the college. 4 years ago, when many of you were freshmen, I shared with you the wisdom of Nelson Mandela. You may recall hearing this before, when he says, our greatest weakness is not our insecurity. Our greatest weakness is the strength within us. The strength within us. None of us is served well by your mediocrity. So I hope as you leave today, you unleash that greatness within you, because there is a greatness within you. And this world needs your bold and courageous leadership more than ever. So go today with God's blessing, and may your path be paved with good health, true happiness, and much success. Now, I ask you to please rise for the alma mater and remain standing through benediction in the academic recession. Thank you.
Well done, Newberry. Well done. So, alums, for just a minute, I'd like you to just stay where you are, but I'd like you to look around at your classmates that you're leaving with. Just take a look. These are your classmates, and these are their families and friends. We are forever from this day and forevermore going forward linked together. Some by shared experiences and shared memories, but all by the diplomas in your hands. When you first got here, a few years back, we held a candle lighting ceremony in this chapel. All of you stood in a circle, you held candles, and we talked about being light in the darkness. That sometimes our candles may grow dim, but there is always someone near us who can help relight our candles. Or we can be the person that relights another person's candle. We can be the light that dispels the darkness. Helping another to light their candle does not diminish yours. So, at the end of that, Dr. Sharons and I will invite Dr. Sharons to the microphone, we invited you to join us in a chant. We're going to do it again. This is the way you came in, and this is the way you will go out. I will say, and family and friends, please join us. I will say, we are, and you will say, Newberry. Dr. Sharons will say, you are, we are, and you will say, family. We'll do that 3 times. Are you ready? I will say, we are, you say, Newberry. Dr. Sharons will say, we are, you say, family. Are you ready? Nice and loud. Families, join us. We are. Newberry. We are. Family. We are. Newberry. We are. Family. We are. Newberry. And we are. Family. God bless you. Go in peace. Love each other as God has loved you. Serve the Lord. Amen.